You have a job, maybe a high-paying one, but somehow every month you're living paycheck to paycheck. Stop it right there. This isn't about you being bad with money. It's about your budget. It's either not working or you haven't stuck to it. I've been broke, homeless, and in debt, but also turned things around to earn millions in multiple countries. And let me tell you, getting your finances in order doesn't require complicated steps or some fancy degree. You just need a solid plan and the grit to stick with it. Today I'm giving you exactly that, the step-by-step method I used to escape paycheck to paycheck hell and build a $4 million fortune. Are you ready? Let's dive in. Tip number 1, start with your net income. Now I know you may be pulling in a good salary, but trust me, it's not the full picture. What matters is what lands in your bank account after taxes, retirement contributions, and health insurance. People love to talk about their gross salaries because it sounds impressive, but in reality, it's your net income that's your real money. Number 2, track everything for 30 days. Can't fix what you don't measure. Use cool tools like Mint, YNAB, or Spendee, which is friendly to people outside the US. But if you prefer a low-tech approach, grab a notebook or use Excel. Categorize your expenses: rent, food, gas, subscriptions, entertainment, and debt payments. These are your fixed costs: mortgage, phone bills, car loans, and insurance. For variable expenses, think groceries, gas, eating out, gifts, fun stuff, etc. Estimate how much you spend on each in a month. Be realistic. Underestimating will mess up your budget. Now, if tracking this manually sounds like a pain, try using some cool tech like Mint, YNAB, or Spendee. They can read your bank statements and categorize your spending for you. Tip number 3, group spending into needs, wants, and savings. Here's the breakdown. Here's the 50% of your net income should go to needs, 30% to wants, and 20% to savings and paying off debt. So if you're bringing in $3,000 a month, $1,500 should go to needs, $900 to wants, and $600 to savings and debt. Doesn't work for you? Flip the percentages. I've got friends who need 70% for their needs, 20% for wants, and 10% for savings. After all, everyone's different, and it depends on where you live and how much your stuff costs. Tip number 4, make a list of all your expenses. Write down all your fixed and variable expenses. Fixed costs are your regular bills that stay the same each month, like rent or mortgage, phone bills, car payments, and insurance. Variable costs change each month and include stuff like groceries, gas, eating out, gifts, subscriptions, and entertainment. Be honest and thorough. You can't fix what you don't know about. Number 5, set spending limits for each category. Now that you know where your money goes, it's time to set limits. Decide how much you can spend in each category. For example, let's say you make $3,000 a month. You can allocate $200 for rent, $200 for utilities, $450 for groceries, $150 for transportation, $80 for subscriptions, $400 for savings, $150 for dining out, $100 for an emergency fund, and $100 for fun. Obviously, these numbers aren't set in stone. They depend on your income and living situation. Also, don't forget about those irregular expenses like gifts, repairs, or annual fees. You can't just budget for the everyday stuff. Tip number 6, build an emergency fund first. Before you start investing or paying off debt like credit cards, save up at least $1,000 to $2,000 in case something unexpected pops up. In the US, healthcare can be really expensive, so you might need a bit more. In other countries with better healthcare or cheaper rent, you could start investing earlier. Having some cash saved up gives you a safety buffer between you and your longer-term goals. Tip number 7, use cash or envelopes. It sounds old school, but it works. Grab some envelopes and label them according to your budget categories: rent, food, gas, etc. Then put the amount of cash you've allocated for each category into the respective envelope. Once the cash is gone, you're done spending in that category for the month. Of course, it's totally fine if you prefer to use the digital version of this method. You can set up separate checking accounts or apps like Cube Money or Good Budget, which is awesome worldwide. Tip number 8, check your budget weekly. Your budget shouldn't be a set it and forget it kind of thing. It's a living plan that changes as you do. Schedule a weekly money check-in for 15 minutes. If you find yourself overspending in one area, move money from another category to bring it back in balance. Or if you've got some unexpected income, great. Boost your savings or pay off some debt. The key is to stay flexible. If your budget feels too tight, consider easing up on a few categories to give yourself a little breathing room. Remember, it's about progress, not perfection. Tip number 9. Cut back without depriving yourself. Look, I get it. Cutting back isn't fun, but here's the thing. You don't have to feel deprived to save money. Consider canceling unused subscriptions. On average, Americans waste $219 a month on subscriptions they don't use. Instead of eating out 3 times a week, try cooking at home 4 times. Use cashback apps like Rakuten in the US or Top Cashback in the UK when you do shop. Buy stuff secondhand via Facebook Marketplace, thrift stores, or apps like Depop. Small cuts across the board add up to big savings without you having to sacrifice too much. Number 10, plan for big expenses. Holidays, birthdays, back-to-school shopping. Don't let these expenses wreck your budget. Save up for them in advance. It's easier than you think. Let's say you want to spend $600 on holiday gifts this year. Divide that by 12 and save $50 each month. That way you won't be scrambling or maxing out credit cards come December. This is what I call a sinking fund. You're sinking money into a specific goal. Tip number 11, pay yourself first. Think of it like a bill you absolutely must pay, even before your other expenses. Automate it. In the US, you can use banks like Ally, SoFi, or Chime to set your savings goals and auto deposits. Outside the US, look for local banks or apps that support automatic transfers. Start small. Even $50 a month can grow into a tidy sum over time thanks to compound interest. Tip number 12, watch out for lifestyle creep. This happens when your income goes up, but so do your expenses. You end up spending every raise you get. The trick is to plan ahead. Every time you get a raise, allocate 50% to savings, 30% to debt repayment, and 20% to upgrading your lifestyle. It's natural to want to upgrade everything when you earn more, but true wealth comes when you don't spend every increase. Number 13, don't forget fun money. If your budget is too strict, you'll eventually break. You need some wiggle room for guilt-free spending. Even just $50 a month for hobbies makes a difference. The goal of a budget isn't to punish you. It's to give you more control and peace of mind with your finances. And remember, consistency is key. Life happens. There will be months when you blow the budget. My wife and I have been broke, homeless, and in debt, but we've also turned things around to earn millions in multiple countries. Getting your finances in order isn't about complicated steps or some fancy degree. You just need a solid plan and the grit to stick with it. Trust me, once you start, you'll feel more at ease, more in control, and more confident. You'll stop asking, "Where did my money go?" and start telling your money where to go. Comment budget below, and I'll send you a free spreadsheet to get started today. See you next time.